Hello everybody, welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. I am very excited about this whiskey I'm going to review in today. Before we get started, let me just say my name is John. Welcome to the Sippin' Den. I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol on this channel. And I do a world famous Sunday morning coffee review. Every Sunday I post a coffee. I asked you for two things. One, I asked you to check out my playlist, because only then can you understand the complexity and the depth of this channel. It's very easy to navigate and look through. It's just amazing to look at that playlist. First comment of every video I do is pinned because I always put a link to what I'm doing. In this case, American whiskey, I'll probably put it under the bourbon playlist as well. We're going to get into that in a second. The second thing I asked for is a sub. I'm very excited about this whiskey. Let me tell you a little about it. Distiller's Cache, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. Rare Find, limited release, single barrel whiskey, barrel number 7, bottle number 35168. 63.9% alcohol, that's 127.8 proof. Distilled in 2008, bourbon mash bill. Got a wax top. Okay. Focus in. The focus. There it is. All right. Now there's a story on the back, which I'll read you, but I'll tell you about. I know a lot about this. And there it is. Got a light color. Got a total wine side. I'll explain all that to you in a second. All right. So there is a distillery in Michigan called Ugly Dog Distillery. They make flavored vodka. I think they make gin, and I think they source bourbon. They may make bourbon, I'm not sure, but their main thing is flavored bourbons. From what I understand, I've never had any of their stuff, but doing the research, apparently their flavored bourbons are pretty good. But anyway, they also, like Owl and Rare Character, try and source rare bourbon barrels from Kentucky distillers to, if they get a barrel, maybe share it with their friends and have a cool collection, or sell it if they get enough of it and it's unique. And we'll fast forward to this, what I'm about to tell you here, part of the story. Bourbon is the second most restrictive whiskey in the world. It's cognac, then bourbon, then everybody else. One of the rules for bourbon is that it cannot go into a barrel higher than 125 proof. Come out with whatever proof, but it can't go in any higher than 125. This distillery, major distillery in Bardstown, basically Heaven Hill, to my knowledge, best of my knowledge, put this into the barrel higher than 125. Immediately they could not, and they did it by accident, could not call that bourbon. So they didn't know what to do with it. What are we going to do with this? So they said, well, let's put it away, in the rick house and just see what happens, see how it develops. Won't worry about it for a while. The guy from Ugly Dog comes down. You have anything rare? You have anything different? I own a distillery in Michigan. They're like, we have just the thing for you. He tastes it. He likes it. He loves it. He buys it all. Comes to about 1,500 bottles. Total Wine finds out about it because they have a relationship with Heaven Hill, obviously. Sends a tasting team up to him in Michigan. They taste it, they love it, they want to buy all his bottles. Probably keeps a couple for himself, I don't know that, I would have. Sells Total Wine, whatever they sell them, 1,500 or less. Total Wine sticks their sticker on there. Says, what are you going to do now? We have 1,500 bottles approximately. We've got 250 stores. No use putting a couple here and a couple there. We'll send it all to Kentucky, because basically Kentucky's the home base for bourbon. They send it all to Kentucky. That is the story on this. It was about $95. It's very rare, and that's a heck of a value for what you get out of here. I've tasted it, not out of this one. It's delicious. And we'll get into that. We'll see what this barrel does. All right. Get this wax off here. All right. Clean it real nice. All right. All right, on the back, while that's breathing, our personal quest has been to discover exceptional, unique, and handcrafted products that stand out above the rest. Previously, we have kept these gems for very special occasions to share with our most cherished family and friends. While traveling in Kentucky and exploring for an outstanding example of the distiller's craft, we discovered these foreign barrels. Now, I've given you a little more in depth about that. This exceptional whiskey was produced using a bourbon mash bill and distilled to meet the definition of the most famous whiskey. It was put into the barrel at slightly too high a proof to qualify as a bourbon. Discovering this, the master distiller hid it away to see how it would mature. Oh, yes. Upon finding this forgotten gem, we discovered that these few barrels had matured into an exceptional spirit that they have. We now have decided to share our rare find with you. We hope you enjoy and savor it as much as we do. So that's the Ugly Dog Distillery. They bottled this. Obviously, they didn't make it. Okay. 127.8 proof. 63.9% alcohol by volume. Ooh, alright. Very excited about this. Very excited about this. First time I tasted it, I couldn't believe it. It was the rarest bottle, and at $95, the best value in the store. There's no doubt about it. I think it's all gone now. Excuse me. So there's the color, right? It's light. Obviously a light char, probably put in one of the lower levels of the rick house. What's amazing about this, you don't get the proof burn on the nose. That's not really what's amazing. What's amazing is the amount of sweetness that comes out of the smell of this, considering the high proof of it. And I mean, it is candy, caramel, apple is huge. Honeyed. I don't know the mash bill. Heaven Hill has several. They have a wheated one. Let me get into tasting it first. But well, I've tasted it, so what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to taste it again. Is part of me wants to say it's the wheat, a wheated mash bill, because of the sweetness, but then there is some characteristics of rye in here as well. Some of the cinnamon. So I don't know the mash bill. I don't think Heaven Hill really wants too many people know where this came from. And I won't say it came from heaven. Let me say I think it came from heaven. You know, it's my acclimation sip. First and foremost, always do an acclimation sip. Gotta acclimate your mouth. You've got to numb the tongue a little bit. You got to numb the pain receptors, so down the next sips you get the flavor. This works. You got to kind of chew it, slosh around your mouth for a little bit, and don't swallow that whiskey for at least 10 seconds. Now, here's what's amazing. The amount of sweetness in this is just astounding. For the proof, the amount of flavor and lack of burn is crazy. It is sweet. It is definitely caramel apple. It's sugar mixed in. What it tastes like, obviously there's none of that in here, but it is extremely sweet, extremely flavorful. Light cinnamon, light cinnamon sugar. This is really good. This is one of the better bottles I've had in a long time. And I got a lot of stuff. Alright, but it is delicious. Now I think we owe it a little while. I could just drink this almost 130 proof. That's crazy. Now, when I say it can't go in a barrel 125, it can't. But people are like, well, I've had whiskey come out higher, or I've had higher bourbons. Bourbon whiskey. Yeah, come out, whatever. Just can't go in. All right, so here we go. Let's do a little bit of water. All right. You know, for 10 to 12 years in that barrel, It's brought out a little bit of the wood. It's a sweet wood smell. Still getting the buttery toffee. Man, I wish y'all could try this. Anybody comes to my house, I'm going to nurse this bottle a little bit, okay, because it's not going to be able to get it anymore. I got a couple. I may do some trading down the road. I may just drink them all. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Now it's like an 80 proofer. And I proofed it down to, it's still in the hundreds. And when I say that, I mean as far as the smoothness, the non-burn. It is really, it's a buttery sweetness. It's like a honey butter. You ever have that where honey's mixed in with the butter? Put it on a hot roll. Oh, it's good. Maybe with a little cinnamon. Best butter in the world. That's what this whiskey reminds me of. It's never going to be made again. Damn it. I'm calling it Distiller's Catch. It might be Cache, I'm not sure, but that is good. Ugly Dog Distillery. They didn't make it. They found it. They bottled it. Total Wine. Tasted it. Loved it. Bought it. Heaven Hill. Possibly. Made it. By mistake. Some of the better things in life are done by accident. They really are. Alright. I was excited about this. I tasted it. I couldn't wait to get home and do a review on it. I hardly ever do this, but I'm doing this review today. I'm going to put it out today. So I got some work to do before I get this uploaded. But here it is, man. This will be for special occasions. It's probably one of the rare ones I have back here. And I got a bunch of allocated stuff, but you can get that eventually. Maybe hard to get, but 5 years from now you'll still get it. This, you'll never get. And it's good. So, from Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed, thank you for being here. I'll see you all in the next one.